And we're back. This is the first hand back. As you can see, we got a smaller area. And I raised it up and just, standard raised it up with a decent hand. Everybody folded. It took that entire 3-minute break to create the vehicle, to create the video and then save the project. So I was still just saving the project when the tournament started again. But as you can see, this is only half of the screen. It's almost exactly half of the other size. I didn't have a chance to resize the window. I resized the window a little bit here. It's still a little big, but yeah, get this lobby off my screen. Would have liked to have actually had an opportunity to, get something to drink or maybe check my email or... Stupid Camtasia takes forever just to save a project, even on my computer. Like, I mean, if you're planning on recording poker videos with Camtasia, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to have enough time to, like, save videos and save projects and stuff on breaks of tournaments. You're just not. Wow, what a terrible flop. No interest. No reason to get involved there. Got a guy in the button who's, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of ways that this guy can miss this flop. And even if you guess right and he does, he probably has a draw or something. So he's not going anywhere anyway. So, take your 2 undercards with a gut shot miracle draw and just fold them. Yeah, I'm just going to re-raise here. Ace-10 7-handed figures to be the best hand the vast majority of the time. He doesn't have enough chips to fuck around. If he does re-raise, I might have to reevaluate, but for right now, I'm pretty sure I got the best hand. You can see me being a little bit of a bully against the late position guys, but that's just the way it is. I'm not going to get involved here against an under the gun raiser with an ace-6. Although that would have been a pretty decent place to actually make like a squeeze play raise to like 3,600, to be honest with you. But we're hoping somebody goes broke. The easier we can get heads up, the better. No reason to grind it all out if I don't have to. These idiots can just knock each other out, and I'll take my 10,000 chips and we'll go heads up, even if I'm out chipped heads up. I'll take it. Then again, I don't expect any of that to happen. By the way, don't get carried away with the 3-bet from the small blind in that situation, even if you have chips. Don't get carried away. If you have like ace-5 or something, probably not a good idea to make that play. You want better than that. You want something. You want something. You want something just in case he calls. And obviously, I mean, common poker theory there says that you would rather do that with nothing than a little bit of something, because if he re-raises, you don't get to see a flop or anything. That's not really applicable there, I don't think. Because I think that guy is much more likely to call than he is to re-raise. So you notice that I'm just raising to 500 here. And then that does several things. Number one, if someone's going to fold to 600, they're going to fold to 500, so it doesn't really do anything. Number two, it keeps my bet a little bit smaller. So if someone goes crazy and picks up a great hand in the blind and they re-raise, then I can just fold, and I've only invested 500 chips. So we're gonna give this guy got his one, and that just lets me know, hey, this guy has made a play on me before. This guy has re-raised me in a situation. You know, there I raised pretty early on, so I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, he probably wasn't making a play. It's just that it lets me know that he has made that play before. So if I'm like raising with a little bit better hand next time and he makes that play again, I'm probably not folding. All depends on the situation. But it just, you know, gives me a little indication, hey, he got one. Just lets me know. But I mean, it's not that big a deal. I raised to 500, you know, I steal the blinds one time, I get it back. So he's just going to call here. I got no problem just checking this off. At ace-3 suited, you see a flop. And, you know, that's like the miracle hit, because nobody limps with an ace in this situation. Nobody. So I'll just bet here. No one's going to give me credit for an ace, and I'm probably just going to take it down anyway. I don't expect to run into anything here. Kind of hoping somebody had a 9, but I'm fine with taking it. And you know what? Raising to 500 here, 2.5. Annies are in. No one's going to fold to 600 and not fold to 500, so... And you know, you save yourself 100 chips when someone makes a play. And I've already played this guy twice, so I'm going to fold this. If I hadn't made the 3-bet re-raise against this guy twice already, I would probably try to make it here, but I've done it to this guy twice already, and my hand is definitely the worst of any of the 3, so I'm just going to let it go this time. Because you don't want to do it every time, because I mean, even the worst players in the world, if they see you do it a bunch, they're going to know, hey, he probably doesn't have a hand the whole time. I mean, you can't really have a hand every time. So you got to let him go sometimes. You can't do it all the time. And then, you know, you let that go, and then the next hand comes around, you're on the button, you got a real hand, you raise it up with Queen Jack. Once again, 500 on the button. And we'll take it down. That puts me over 10 for the first time. By the way, I don't necessarily need to have Queen Jack. I mean, I'm going to be raising that button with a hell of a lot less than Queen Jack. Which is why I was considering if Hordock would have went all in, 2,500 total. I mean, that's not an automatic snap fold for me in that situation. It just isn't. Because, I mean, my button range is so much bigger than Queen Jack. Queen Jack's actually not a terrible hand. I'm probably going to fold it. But it's not an automatic snap fold like you would think it would be in that situation. Because, I mean, pot odds. I mean, the pot odds would dictate, you know, if he's making that play with like ace-8. If he's making that play with like an ace and something less than a jack, you know, I'm only a 6. Wow, that's a terrible call with ace-queen, man. Terrible. You know something I don't or something. I just knows he's an idiot, apparently. You got ace-queen and the flop comes king-high. What are you doing? I mean, really? Wow. And not to mention, it's like the money bubble. It's the money bubble with a guy sitting out. What are you doing? It's king-high. Yeah, ace-queen in a raised pot, and the flop comes king-high. It's the money bubble, and a guy sitting out. What are you doing for all of your chips? Do you expect him to fold in a raised pot if he has a king? I mean, yeah, if he has 2 queens, sure, he might fold, granted. But it's a king. Good Lord. Good Lord. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not going to be able to bring up hand history as much now that we only have half the screen. Man, he got all that in on the flop, too. Look at this. Look at this. He gets it all in on the flop, too. He bets and then raises all in with ace-queens. Like, what the hell? That is just ridiculous. And obviously 7-4. No reason to do anything. You know what? Hordock has become a big target for me all of a sudden. And that's because this guy is sitting out, and Hordock is the low stack. So right now, Hordock is doing a little bit of math, trying to figure out if he just doesn't play, if Dodag is going to bust before him. And I think he's figured it out. Ace high in the blinds. I'm obviously going to raise. This guy has 7,000 chips. Guy's sitting out. Guy with 2,300. He's not going to play. He's not going to make a move there, really. He's really not going to be playing unless he has something. And I'm going to be raising any 2 when it folds to me in the button and it's Hordok's blind. That's just all there is to it. Unless he raises ahead of me. Because Hordok is sitting here thinking, this guy's sitting out. If I just don't play, maybe I can get in there. Alright.